organizing, getting things organized, and doing some cleaning and putting some things away. So you may hear me go silent briefly while I'm doing some organizing, but I'll talk to y'all, okay, while I'm kind of putting things away here. So I've been doing carpets. I've been shampooing carpets. I did 2 rooms. I shampooed 2 rooms. I'm going to shampoo the other room again. And then I'm going to shampoo 2 other rooms today. I've been in a shampoo mood. I find that shampooing helps you to get your body moving. Sweeping and shampooing your carpets, like using the shampoo machines, it forces you to get your body moving. Um, you know, this is why in the old days, in the 1950s, the women burned about 10,000, they did 10,000 steps a day. The women, because they were constantly moving around the house, constantly moving and traveling and things like that. Um, I realized for our biggest breakthroughs, the creator really don't want us standing still so long. Like the way we are in our houses now is like blocking some of our best breakthroughs. Um, I got that our biggest breakthrough requires us to treat our homes now like just a place for spirituality, and sleeping and private little meetings. Our homes are not meant for us to hang out in, y'all. This is why people are so screwed up. We're blaming a lot of it on social media, but it's not. Okay, it's we're in our homes too much. Most of the work we're supposed to be doing is actually supposed to be outdoors. Everything we do, besides go to the bathroom, and you still could go to the bathroom outdoors if you want to, but really most of what we do is supposed to be outdoors. Right down to our art, reading, praying, um, all of that. It's better to just keep it all outdoors. The parks are literally open to like 11 o'clock, so there's no reason for people to be doing everything in their house. I know that the world is living in like paranoia, but there are plenty of places you could go where there's not really dangerous people at. There's parks and stuff you can go to where they have police literally sitting in the park, and you could just go there and spend most of your days there. I just saw a quote on TV, confirmation. It says, look at this quote, y'all. Wait a minute, I'm going to read it to y'all. The day you decide to do it is your lucky day. That's the quote that just showed up on TV. The day, the day you decide to do it is your lucky day. Japanese proverb. There it is. There it is. Confirmation for this download. I think people need way more outdoor energy. And people need to be willing to trust again, to find one friend. What I find funny is that everybody always act like a friendship has to be so much more. It doesn't. Friendships don't have to turn into brothers and sisters and we both sisters now, or we're boyfriend and girlfriend. It don't even have to go into that. Um, I think we need lifestyle companions where it's a person that we hang out with who's in alignment with our lifestyle, or at least they do support and enjoy the things that we do. But I think we all need people that like to be outside. I saw a quote the other day that said that people we live with teach us the lessons we really need. So here's the thing. If you're living with people that's always indoors and you're always indoors, you're indoors more than you're outdoors, and so are they. Actually, you're probably getting the wrong lesson from them. as they say, life is what you make of it. How much of your life can you make when you're not really outdoors? You could do everything outdoors. So I don't understand. Like, if you want to watch a movie, you can literally get Netflix or Crackle on your laptop and take your laptop and outside and watch movies. There's really no reason to be indoors like we are. Like, when I look around my neighborhood, people are in their doors indoors in their house or only on their porch all day long. Um when we before we got into that yes I can energy, wasn't nobody saying before 2020, wasn't nobody saying I could be indoors all day every day. Nobody was really thinking like that. I don't know why it became an exaggeration of the shutdown. Like, people took that shutdown energy and like tripled it. And I personally feel that the devil took advantage of the shutdown energy, and now people are like in a very toxic version of being indoors. People think it's not toxic because they it's an illusion that they're in peace. Just because you're not arguing with someone don't mean that you're at peace. You're still missing out. You're still not getting certain things. If you got to schedule sun time, is your life really in alignment with God? Like think about that. If we got to schedule outdoor time, that is so ridiculous. How can we actually say that we have faith that we're protected? We have faith in the Creator. Okay. Um. That's thinking small. Like, oh, I make sure I get outside an hour or two a day. Why do you even have to go back to your house? Like, just because your house is nice, that means you need to go back to it. This is what the guy from Fight Club was talking about. The things you own will end up owning you. Like, I bet you any money if most people didn't own anything, if they were just in a plain old empty house and it was just like a bed and a table and just an ice box and some soap and water and a shower, they would not be running to that house. It's I feel like that's one of the greatest scams and tricks, that your house is an option for good time and peace. Like, you can make that as number one priority. That was a scam. Okay, back in the 90s, it didn't matter how nice your house was. Nobody wanted to be in the house all day. Nobody wanted to be in somebody's house more than an hour. It didn't matter how nice it was. Now it's like people be glamorizing, like, yeah, I want an 8 bedroom house. What for? You going to be in that house like all day? That's like crazy. People are saying they lonely, they can't meet nobody. Meanwhile, they sitting in the house. And it's becoming like a synchronized thing. I believe some of the very best people, and this is just what I believe, are the people that's not sitting in their house most of the time. I believe that we're living in illusions when we say a lot of divine ones is in the house. Now, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Because anybody divine will feel like they need outdoors a lot more than they need indoors. I have been in plenty of homes, the nicest homes. It doesn't matter how nice it was. And I felt like the connection with God always struggled. The connection with my higher self struggled. But I never felt that when I was outdoors. I never feel that when I'm outdoors. I even feel that when I'm in a church. I go into church and other people in there. It's like the church still feels like it's oppressing my energy. Even if no one's in there, I can still feel like I'm not. I'm kind of cut off from God a little bit. We weren't supposed to continue in that shutdown energy, and I'm really, really shocked that so many people are. I really thought that once this was over, everybody was going to go back to being outside. But I see, like, people fell for the false sense of safety, a false sense of it. Everyone wants to be a genius and gifted and get successful. A lot of people want that, but they don't want to be outdoors. Like, they don't want to be outdoors. They don't want to travel and move around every day. Like, Hemingway was not at his house when he wasn't writing. He was literally outside, going to different places, different nightclubs, talking to different people, whatever. And then he would wake up in the morning and see what ideas was in his mind. And he wasn't even in his house all day. He was outside fishing, hunting, whatever. People say they want to be like famous people, but we ain't in their energy though. Like, people swear like, yeah, I'm trying to be like Charles Bukowski, but you ain't traveling like him. You in your house for every damn thing. Even Emily Dickinson did not write her first drafts at home. Emily Dickinson literally wrote almost all her lines while she was out and about. And then at the end of the day, she would see all the lines that she had and see what poems she had. I'm just so shocked, you know. I think of the story Sylvia Plath when she was stuck in a house with Ted Hughes all the time. That's when she started to get blocked. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, he would keep her in the house at the time when she was supposed to be out, according, you know, what God says she's supposed to be out. But then as soon as after he was done harvesting her energy, he would go out and be with another woman and hang out and turn up, and she be in the house drained, still in the house drained. He left her stuck in that house with the kids with barely any money. She was on basically welfare while he was living it up with his money and his new wife that he stole from their friend. He stole somebody's wife, cheated on his wife, abandoned the kids, and left his wife. Sylvia died pretty much penniless, but she had the last laugh because she ended up more famous than him being famous, and his grave was destroyed, so he got his karma. But anyway, the devil is tricking people to lock themselves away. I mean, the devil been telling us this. The devil will snitch on himself so many times. We're just not listening. So, for example, my angels had me watching the movie Demon Knight. I'm like, well, I keep on watching this movie Demon Knight. Y'all keep saying, put it on, put it on, put it on. And I couldn't figure it out. And then I finally figured it out. What they wanted me to see. What they wanted me to see is it's an illusion thinking you safe when everybody is just doing the familiar, just being in gratitude of what they got and just like staying in one location all the time. You see how they were sitting ducks when the devil came near? They were sitting ducks. They didn't even know how to get out of that house. In that movie Demon Knight, they didn't even know any optional ways to get out of there. They were just literally just sitting around, eating, hanging out, and doing the same old stuff. And the devil took advantage of the situation. Okay? None of them was spiritually or mentally or energetically even prepared. Okay? They were all just pretty in illusions, thinking that they were doing good because they had a place to stay, and you know they had room and board in that hotel. So everybody was just like, I'm good. But then the devil came and said, see, you're not good. The devil is teaching you that you're better off keeping moving. You're better off keeping things moving. You know, they say wandering minds is a devil playground. Like when you're still, when your mind's not, when you're not moving and your mind is just wandering in the same area, it's the devil's playground. Now I already know a lot of people is not going to agree with me with this, but because it's like a worldwide spell work. It's heavy spell work on the world, on in America, where people are saying, "Oh, because I know negativity online, I'm going to stay in my house to protect myself." And it's like, nah, look, evil's everywhere. There's if it wants you, it's going to come to your house. So the point is, you might as well just get busy living. You know, and living is just not in your house. I know you think it is, but it's not. People are hormones are jacked up. We got a thyroid epidemic that's out of control. Thyroid problem epidemic. And why? Because cortisol is jacked up. And why is cortisol jacked up? Because people don't go outside. People ain't walking enough. They think just walking 20 minutes is good. We ain't walking nowhere near as much as they was walking and traveling in the 1950s. Our thyroid, even medium weight people, their thyroid is not even nowhere near as healthy as the people in the 1950s. Their thyroid. They were sitting in parks and reading books. There were serial killers and people like Jack the Ripper back then, but they weren't like, I'm gonna go lock myself away in fear. I mean, you could get, for real, half of the food that, look, I believe that a lot of people will have way more money if they stayed out of their house. Like, like when you out of your house and you're doing all your activities out of your house, you get all the amount of hormones that you need and vitamins from the sun and the nutrients from the trees. So suddenly it's like food is like not that glamorous. And all the substitutes that you use when you're in your house, you're like, I don't need none of these now. Telling you no lie, y'all. Like I say if you're going through stuff, just keep on running outside. I know that sounds like crazy to think that will fix things. You would be amazing how much running outside will actually start to fix your life. You'll be able to like face a lot of things with like no stress and no sweat. It gets so much easier. But it's the thing that you would think is ridiculous. But it's what you need to do to fix your life. Like run outside. Like when you're when the house a lot and you're alone a lot, your problems is in your face all day, every day. Problems are not supposed to be in our face 24/7. It's not supposed to creep back into our mind 24/7. It shouldn't have room to be in our mind 24/7. Our minds was not supposed to be meant to just sit there wide open for anything and everything to come through. We were supposed to have periods of time where we're just listening to music. Um, you know, somebody singing, or we just listening to somebody reading a book. We were supposed to have that every single day. And we were supposed to actually have that at least twice a day. But most people are like, I did my 1 hour audio book before bed, I'm good. It's like, no. Because the time of day come twice a day. See what I'm saying? Time come twice a day at least. A lot of people forget that. So most of what you're doing is supposed to be done twice a day. So if you're like getting 2 hours of outdoor time, you probably should be getting 4 hours. Just saying, y'all. You know, I let a lot of things go. I'm done with a lot of things. I don't even want to, I don't care if it's the president's house. I don't want to do anything indoors no more. Unless I got to. These demons is going through the portals, y'all. They want us to sit in the house and do our stuff. They want to use the mirrors in our house in these portals. They know if you do a lot of your stuff outside or somewhere where the portals is blocked by ancestral energy, like the library. The library is like really protected, y'all, by old souls. When they know if you go to a library and you like sit near a window and or you're sitting in the grass near a library or you're in the grass near a museum, these demons know that they can't get you. They praying you never do that. They pray that you don't start doing your stuff at a park or a museum or a library. I think we all overrating how strong we are in our houses. How many people have said their houses, they was cool being in their houses, and then their houses collapsed or somebody broke in? A lot of people talk a lot about Africa and Africans, but they don't be in a house like that. They don't be. When you watch their videos on YouTube, they stay outdoors. Okay, they might go in to do some private stuff, but most of the time they just outside walking. If they can walk around outdoors all day with sandy flip flops on, with sand around them and stuff, why can't Americans with grass around them walk around outside? And I know when some people watch it and say, I go outside, that 1 hour, I'll be outside. I go grocery shopping. I buy me something twice a week, so I go outside. No, that don't count. Everybody does that. Everybody goes out to go grocery shopping. Normally, unless they really disabled and go shopping. Everybody does that. Okay. Getting on the bus to go to work, everybody does that. Walking around the block for 20 minutes, everybody does that. Going for a brief jog, a lot of people do that. But what about living your life like straight up outdoors where, where, you may be like door hopping. So you're like constantly going back outside. Like you just visiting different people or visiting different clubs or visiting different parks, or you're you're doing outdoor scenery stuff. You're just checking out different places, just outdoors, just to do it. I don't like that people feel like they can't do nothing unless it's going to lead to like monetizing and money. Why is that necessary? Why can't everybody just go outside and do it because it's fun? Like what happened to that? No, it's crazy, y'all. People won't do photography because they say, I don't want to be a photographer. I'm not planning to be professional. I'm not trying to set up a photography business. And why did that have to be necessary for you to do photography? If you enjoy it, why does that have to lead to that? Like people say, I don't want to date and I don't want to be in a relationship because um, I'm not interested in being married, and I mean, I want to get married, so I'm not going to date until I can get married, until I can find me a husband. That stuff's crazy. It's like people are just in goal thinking about everything rather than like just go ahead and have fun. Look, nobody's getting out of here alive, and a lot of people are forgetting that. So why don't you just have fun, leave your house and just have fun? Like you might as well spend that little $15 every month to buy yourself a little something. Might as well. You might as well go ahead and dip in your bank account for $20 and get yourself a little reward every month. May as well. You're not making it out of here alive. And all the things that you deprived yourself of, you're going to be regretting that when you're old. You're going to say, I wish I would have went more places, stayed outdoors more, traveled more. When you're stuck in a nursing home, you're going to wish all the things that you didn't do right now. You're going to be depressed about it when you're old. When you can't go nowhere unless your caregiver say somebody take you, you can't eat unless somebody fix your food. You can't eat food the way you make it because somebody else is making it. When you get old and you get in that energy, you're going to regret the fact that you didn't learn any recipes and cook them for yourself. You didn't play with recipes. That you didn't slap out your grill every other week and grill and just the grill. You're gonna wish you would have did that because you're gonna miss the taste of barbecue, good old fashioned barbecue. When you're old in a nursing home, you're gonna miss it. You're not getting out of here alive. Tell yourself this every day. when you say, I can sit in my house for 4 or 5 hours a day, I'm cool. No, you're not cool. When you hear other people's stories when you're old, you're going to look foolish. You're not going to have nothing. That is what you're going to be bringing to the table when you old, stories. And what story? How many stories do you have sitting up in your house? Like, you're running out of stories. What? You lost somebody died, you lost your job. Look, those stories are played. We hear that all on YouTube. You want some other funny experiences to talk about. You want some other stuff. You want to be able to say, I did something that people say my age shouldn't do. I'm a 40-year-old and I'm sitting up here roller skating. I'm 50 years old roller skating. I'm going to skating parties. I'm going to outdoor skating rinks. I'm in outdoor skating clubs. You want to be able to say stuff like that. Like the devil tells you you're too old, you're too fat, you're too broke, you're too married, you're too hitting the wall, you're too used up. All of that. And all of those scripts is literally in your subconsciousness, and that's what's kind of energetically making you stay in a house too long. If you're, I'm gonna tell you no lie, if you're getting off work and all you're doing is going grocery shopping, going to the park a little bit, and you're scheduling staycation time, you're not being outdoors as much as you should be. There is no staycation. Staycation is every day. Staycation and vacation is an everyday thing. Your whole life is supposed to be a vacation. And if you wouldn't sit indoors all day on vacation, why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Okay? You are here to be on vacation. Because when you die, there is no vacation. When you are, when you die, it's just serve, 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 serve. There is no, when you're a spirit on the other side. It's either burn, 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 or serve, 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 serve. That's it. Or wander, 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 bored out of your mind in purgatory. Those are the three things that you get that you just gonna, one of those is gonna be picked for you out of those three things. But while you're here, you get vacation. You don't have to be bored unless you want to be. You don't have to be in purgatory unless you want to be. You can choose how to fight your way out of purgatory. But when you die and you're in purgatory, you are not fighting your way out. You don't get out until the higher power lets you out. You are a higher power in your own life. In this life while you are alive. This is why they say there are angels working for the devil that's jealous of us. They are jealous of us because we have vacation. Demons don't get to go on vacation. They are slaves. They are slaves to the lake of fire. You can be on vacation. Your whole life is supposed to be a vacation. Hey, hold on for a minute. I don't know what's going on. What, my cat. Hansi, what's going on with you in here? What's the matter? What's the matter, Bubba? I don't know why you're acting so attached. Yeah. It's okay. Yeah. You want to give mommy some serotonin, huh? You worried about my serotonin today? Yeah. Woo. Hansi been on a mission to make sure I get my serotonin. I've been under attack lately. So Hansi's been like acting like a bodyguard for my hormones. Okay, Bubba, it's okay. It's all right. He was whining to get in here. All right, y'all. So I want you to remember that you will not get a vacation when you die. There is no option for a vacation. Okay, you will either go into the void with nothing fun to do. No one can help you. You're bored out of your mind. There's nothing there. You have to watch, or the only thing you get to do is see the living people have vacations. And you can't. Or You're going to go to the burning planets or burning fire that's floating in the galaxy, and you're just going to be stuck there, burning over and over and over and over and over again. Your soul stinging from the flames, unable to resist the pull of the fire. That's where you're going to be. Or you're going to be in the light dimension, and all you do is serve and guide all day. You don't need no rest because you're dead. So all you do is serve. You wait on the living. The angels work for us. We don't work for them. We don't work for them. They work for us 24/7 all day. They don't even get to sleep. We're sleeping and they're woke, working for us. But you're alive. You can work when you feel like it. You can sleep when you feel like it. Don't be fooled. Don't think because the system has 9 to 5 job that you can't sit up there and say, the hell with this. I'm going to just go and live off the system. The system, the creator made this system come up with welfare because the creator knew that the system was starting to interfere with your free will. Welfare has been created to protect your free will. The right to say, I'm the hell with this 9 to 5. I'm going with vacation. I'm gonna do vacation when I feel like vacation. If you don't have to do nothing you don't want to do. Nothing, like literally nothing. You are in full control. You are in full control options of your soul. Even if it comes with karma, even if you might get punished because your soul is doing something not supposed to do, you still can make up your own mind. But your life has to be a vacation. That is how on vacations where you are vacating like a god would do vacation. That's how you get your ticket up to heaven. Now don't be fooled. Not everybody has to be a guide. Some people is done being a guide. So they just be peacefully in heaven. Okay? Your guidingness do expire. Everything expire. So there's no guarantee that you will even be an angel serving on the other side. Some of us, we may be extra privileged and we may just be in heaven enjoying the fruits of labor of heaven because we are done dying and being an angel and serving. We're all served out. But most of us with the life expectancy that we have based upon what we're eating, most of us probably is going to have to serve again on the other side. Most of us is probably going to have to serve till this earth is done with because it got too toxic. Long as this earth stay real toxic, a lot of us is not going to heaven. A lot of us is going to be angels serving. The worse this world get, the more of us is forced to serve over and over again as angels on the other side. Die and be reborn to serve again. Die and be reborn to serve again. Even as animals serving. The animals is working for us on the other side. Some of them are not resting. Some of them are literally working for us. Goats and cows and stuff, not cows because they're hybrids. They probably in purgatory. They're not really fully of God's creation. So things like I guess the bison and certain animals like ducks and geese and stuff, they working on the other side. A lot of people say the animals go to the Rainbow Bridge. Not all of them go across the Rainbow Bridge and go in heaven and go in animal heaven and chill. Okay, so what I'm saying is stop acting like that you know that you're going to automatically go to heaven and go and have a vacation when you die. There's no guarantee. Most of us is not having no vacation. The ultimate vacation is hanging out in heaven, hanging out in the Creator's light dimension, this hovering above all galaxies. A lot of us ain't going there because the earth is too toxic. Okay? A lot of us is going serve until the rapture is done. So you might as well just enjoy, you might as well just do vacation. You might as well go on a God vacation. If there was any hope for a lot of us to go straight to heaven, it's over. The numbers have decreased. It's not that because a lot of us is wicked. This world is in too much need. The wicked was able to take over, going to be able to just chill up in God's light space that's hovering way above the galaxy. A lot of us was able to just be there and chill and coast the disc. You know that disc. It's like a the creator's like a circle. Okay, it's a conscious circle of energy that's ruling all energy that exists. We were all able to go there and be in consciousness and hang out and manifest ourselves in any way we want, long as it's good and you know beautiful. But now we can't. A lot of us can't. That's why so many people are having ascension. This world has been too disrespected. So you might as well plan on serving when you die. You might as well say, well, there's a 90% chance I'm not going to heaven. I'm gonna be a guide. I'm not. you might as well you might as well say that. So until you get there, you might as well say, well, let me go ahead and have fun. Have good old fashioned, good clean fun. Because I'm gonna be taking that on the other side to be a guide. Okay? I don't wanna I wanna make sure that whatever I'm guiding in, I really enjoy. Okay? This is why you got to set your life up every single day like it's a vacation. Basically, you are shopping for what you're going to be a guide in. The odds of you being a guide instead of going to heaven is very high now. So, what do you want to take with you to be a guide in? You're choosing. You're choosing, and you choose through vacation. What's fun on vacation? Hi, everybody. It's good to see people are understanding. I have chosen. I want to be a dance guide. I want to be I want to be a writer guide. I want to be a poet guide. I want to help a living person who's into poetry. I want to be an angel on the other side that's teaching poetry. So my vacation has to be full of poetry. But I can't get the poetry if I'm indoors. Poetry is everywhere and real abundant outdoors. Everything is more abundant outdoors. There's nothing more abundant indoors. No matter what you think, no matter what you think. Okay, this is why your vacation will, indoors will never ever work like an outdoor vacation. You are going to be assigned to help someone else's vacation go well, be abundant. Most of us, divine ones, will die and be a guide helping a living person with their vacation. But right now, we get to get help for our vacation. Your psychic abilities is supposed to be fun and games. It's not supposed to just be, I'm doing this for work. Your intuition is supposed to be, I'm trying to do this for fun and goodness because I'm going to have to teach somebody else. When I die, I'm going to have to teach somebody how to meditate. I'm going to have to teach somebody how to be a medium. Someone's going to want to learn clairvoyance. And I'm going to have to be a clairvoyant guide, an angel teaching them how to use their third eye, giving them downloads on how to use it. But if I'm sitting in the house all day, I'm not getting the light that I need for my third eye. I'm not getting starlight. I'm not getting the scent of lavender and flowers that will strengthen my mediumship. I'm not getting that. I'm sitting indoors. So the point that I'm saying is if you do not get the highest abundance of of your vacation passion, if you don't get it outdoors, you probably won't be chosen as a guide. And you know what that means, right? You go to purgatory. I'm just saying, y'all. If you are not beneficial in abundance for this earth, now you will probably go to purgatory. You don't even have to be out here sinning and go to purgatory now. The fact that you don't even care about being abundant, as being an abundant spiritual being when you die. You don't care about that. Okay, you go to purgatory. Because you have to be spiritually abundant even to just get to heaven. Y'all. But you won't even get to heaven. You won't even get to heaven if you haven't served enough, served enough. Your soul hasn't served enough. And you'll know when your soul has served enough. And the serving is done on vacation. See what I'm saying? The serving is done on vacation. I know we've been taught, no, vacation, you get served. Actually, vacation is you actually serving. Um, because the person giving more is the happiest. People wonder where my optimism come from. How come I can keep picking myself up by my bootstraps in just minutes? Because I will outserve anyone. I'm not about being on the treads longer than the next person like Will Smith. I don't care. We can have a serving competition and I will come out as one of the finalists. Because those who serve are always happier. And God wants happy people as guides. God don't want miserable people trying to guide the living. God do not want us dying miserable with low-level happiness and thinking we're going to be a guide for the living. No, you go to the purgatory place. A part of enjoying vacation is not just I'm just doing a reset, I'm just whatever. You're actually everything you do is supposed to be because you are going to eventually serve it. If you're trying to get anything from God, it's because you're planning to give it away in some way. Because you know how they say you don't get to keep it when you die? You don't get to keep it all when you're alive. That's deep. That's deep. You got to surrender a lot of it where it humbles you. If you're not surrendering enough to humble you while you're alive, you're not going to be chosen to be a guide. Wealth is meant for you to learn more about surrendering. When you get wealthy on vacation, because vacation is about wealth, it's also teaching you how to surrender. This is why Lynn Richardson talks about your vacation is supposed to also be used to be of service. Now, of course, the body and mind need rest. But let me tell you something. When you have been well trained to serve, it doesn't need that much rest. Albert Einstein talked about that. When you have gotten used, when your chakras in your body has gotten used to the work that it's doing and it is madly in love with it, it doesn't need nowhere near as much rest. Stephen King writes he does 10 pages a day, 10,000 words at least minimum. Why doesn't he get tired? You would think he would get tired, okay, staring at that typewriter for hours and hours and hours and hours, 4 hours a day or whatever. And don't say because he's rich, because he was doing it long before he got rich. When Stephen King was broke and poor and working for a little small paper, he was still doing that. Why wasn't he tired? Because his chakras was a well-oiled machine. No one hears that Stephen King goes on vacation. He doesn't do vacations. The vacations that we know. He does the real vacations. His vacation is about 4 or 5 hours a day serving. And the other hours a day is probably researching, reading, learning more about what he's planning to do, probably planning his next book. The man probably only gets 30 minutes of little meditation time, but he's outdoors. Stephen King does not even write at home. Jack Kerouac never wrote at home. He wrote on the road. Jack Kerouac was is one of the most famous writers in the world that they got a whole school named after him. And he never wrote at home. He wrote on the road. His whole life was one big vacation. Constant. The man never got off vacation. And that's why Jack Kerouac could leave almost any writer in the dust and stream of consciousness. His stream of consciousness work was simply brilliant. But how was he able to do that? Because he was on vacation. Outside. If you was on vacation, you would not lock yourself up in a hotel room on vacation. If you spent $2,000 to go on vacation, would you go stay in a hotel room all day? No, you wouldn't. So why don't you look at it like your energy that you're putting into your time just existing is worth $2,000 a day. $2,000 a week you would pay on a hotel. Do you know where you paying rent at? Okay, where you're paying rent at, expensive as it is, you might as well treat that as a vacation, because your money is not just going to your rent. Your money is going to the city, the state is going to whatever opportunities that's in that country. So you need to milk it for all it is. Your taxes is going towards your state and city and your country, which means outdoors too is paying for the upkeep of your country outdoors. So why aren't you milking it? Why aren't you soaking it up? Why pay taxes you might also not even worked in? Why pay taxes for your city and state, for the land and the property and the water and the land care and all that? Why pay for all that out of your hard-earned money and you're sitting around the house? Just think about that. People say they're paying rent. I pay $2,000 rent to stay in my house. No, you're paying actually rent to stay in your country too. You're paying rent to walk up and down the street. You're paying. When I went to do my taxes, I said, wait a minute. Why am I paying state taxes? And my family member was like, you're paying to stay in this state. I said, so you're saying that even if I don't have an apartment, even if I just like slept on the ground outside and went to work, I would still have to pay state taxes. Yes, they said. I said, so I'm paying for this land and stuff out here. And I'm sitting in the house? No. Hell no. I was mad as hell when it was like state and federal. Okay, what am I paying federal? Okay, I'm paying for the FBI. I'm paying for the police, the federal government. Okay? All right. So I'm paying for their buildings. I'm paying for their landmarks. I'm paying for them to do their dream. I'm paying for them to go outside and be in their cars and patrol and stuff, because they're federal government officers. I'm also paying for the state officers. I'm paying for their paychecks. The police can go in their vehicles and travel and get their donuts and go all kind of places in their vehicles. They don't have to use their vehicles just to police. They can drive those vehicles everywhere. So I'm paying for their vehicles. I'm paying for their traveling expenses and all that. And you mean to tell me I'm sitting in this damn house? I said, hell no. Hell no. I'm paying for federal government people to live their best life. They're living it up. They're going on vacations. They're going on expensive vacations. We paid for Michelle and Obama to go on 33 vacations. And you guys are going to sit in the house? No. You should be going through all the free stuff. Because it ain't free. You actually paid for it. You paid. Hold on for a minute, y'all. Out, Hansi. Out. No, we're not doing that in here. Let's go. You paid for the government people to get resources for you. But you're also paying for them to take their dream vacations. So they get to go on dream vacations after getting resources for you. But you paid for that stuff. You paid, okay? You paid medical benefits, welfare. You're paying people's welfare. And those people on welfare are going on vacations you're not going on. They got more free time than you. They're on welfare. So while they're outside enjoying their welfare checks and their disability checks that you're paying for, you're sitting up there saying, well, I'm coming home from my 9-to-5 job and going to my house. While they're like, well, I'm cashing my disability and I'm cashing my welfare and I'm going outside. Because I got money. But last time I checked, most people do got money left out of their 9-to-5 job check. Most people got at least $50 left. Okay, like you could literally get you a slushie and sit outside with $50. Even when I was working part-time at Walmart, I always had at least $50 left on my check. I'm trying to understand why that's not enough for somebody to go to go on a staycation. That is. There's plenty of free stuff, and you can get on the bus for $3. You can go to do something free. You can buy you a little gas station sandwich and a slushie, and you got it. There it is. Y'all, there's really no reason. There's really no reason. Let me tell you, vacations can be very, very, very inexpensive. It's all about what you're doing. You have to realize that everything that you're getting for free, you did not get for free. None of it's for free. Once you have that mindset, then you'll be like, okay, why am I in this house when I literally like everything that's operating is because I paid for it. Like my taxes, they taking taxes on my food. Like I'm paying for this Walmart to stay open. And I'm sitting in my house. Like, y'all, it's crazy. It's straight up, wow. I mean, what do? You pay for a house just to sit in it? So you're just paying for everybody else's vacation life. The police, Walmart, grocery stores, childcare, Medicare, disability. This is an endless list of taxes we pay for. Yes, YouTubers pay the same damn taxes that 9-to-5 job people pay. Listen, if you paying taxes, then you have a real job. Even if it's prostitution. Okay, because prostitution is legal in some places. If you paying taxes, you have a real job. Because real job always falls under paying taxes. This is why I'm so sick and tired of people saying YouTubers don't got a real job. Okay, then why the heck I'm paying the same taxes as you? Plus I'm paying YouTube. You're paying taxes on your check at your 9-to-5 job, but you're not actually paying your employer. Also, he's not getting a cut of your check. He's actually getting money off the service you're providing. But he's not getting separate money for himself like YouTube gets from us. And there's no negotiation for your pay on YouTube. You get what you get. So it's like this. If you're a YouTuber, you definitely should be like vacation energy. You definitely should be like, well, I'm going to spend my life as affordable vacation energy since I know that this YouTube and these platforms are literally more high risk. So I'm probably going to be wasting a whole lot of my time on them. So I might as well just go ahead and when I'm not on these apps, just go ahead and just like have a good time somehow. I know people think doing these apps is like having a good time. It's not having a good time because it's still work and it's very high risk work. It's risk work riskier than a 9 to 5 job. I don't know why. Somehow people have glamorized that 9 to 5 job was safe, was not as safe as YouTube. It's actually safer than YouTube. It's safer than TikTok. It's safer than them all. My point is that if you're going to be a small business owner, because a lot of people are planning to do that because the season, you have to set that small business up like it still feels like a vacation, or you will literally end up giving up. A lot of people quit because they didn't set it up like a vacation. Like, okay, for example, Kelly Stamps is unstoppable because her small business is actually her vacation. She's literally just permanently on vacation. And that's the secret. If it doesn't feel like vacation, then it's not going to last you long. The profits is not going to be long lasting. I see a lot of people looking real miserable owning their offline businesses because they can't hire somebody to work any old time because because of the money they paying, and so their business don't feel like a vacation. Um, People love to say that employers are toxic at the 9 to 5 job, but guess what? Guess why? If they're not paying for more people to sacrifice their vacation and be slaves there, then they're actually like kind of like enslaved energy too. Like an employer that has to work for his company all day, always there working for his company all day, he's not actually benefiting from that company energetically. He's not. If he's like always at the cashier machine, like let's say an employer owns a gas station and he has to work the cashier machine all day, every day, he's not really benefiting from um, energetically from that business. If he's only getting 2 week vacation to hire a temporary person to come in and work it, then he's like kind of in another version of the energy that we're in when we take 2 week vacations. Do y'all see what I'm saying? Like Stephen King, for example, he writes 4 or 5 hours a day or whatever, all the way up to like 1 p.m. But he's not writing all the way until he falls asleep. The other time of day, he's doing other things that would generate new writing. See what I'm saying? So the point that I'm making, and he's outdoors probably. He's not sitting in his house where his writing desk is. He was already, if he was writing indoors that day, he's probably like, I'm not going to be indoors the rest of the day. This is why the 4 work week really is the solution. Because the other hours you need to be outside. Most jobs require you to be indoors unless you're so lucky to get an outdoor job. If you're lucky to get an outdoor gardening job, if you're lucky to work in a place where there's plenty of sunlight coming through and you're able to work that place for 4 hours, you're pretty lucky. But the 4 hour work week literally is the dream job because the human body starts to get tired at 8 hours woke when it's not fully trained, when it's not laser focused on one field of study like Albert Einstein. He was kind of laser focused. I think he only played the violin sometime, if I recall. But he pretty much didn't do nothing else really much but math. So he didn't require as much sleep as we need. We have too many different things coming in our minds. That's why we need the amount of sleep we get. But let's say that you got the minds of the day with all the clutter. Okay. You probably need a couple of at least 3-4 hours of outdoor activity or near sunshine or sunlight and fresh air, and then the other 4 hours you're actually working. I find that if everybody in the home don't work more than 5 hours, like let's say you got 5 people living in your home and everybody works 5 hours and you have everybody share a room, it will be a lot more peaceful in there because everybody's able to spend the rest of their day outdoors in peace. See what I'm saying? Um, and then overall, people would still probably be able to get some government assistance. They're only working 4 or 5 hours a day. So let's say everybody in the house is able